Hello, today we're going to be preparing some barbecue ribs two ways. One is going to be just the regular rub and barbecue sauce. Another one is a new recipe. It's going to be with Mojo Criollo marinade. It's a Cuban style marinade, and we're going to take a look at the ingredients. So we have our two racks here. One rack we're going to prepare a traditional way rub. We're going to do some mustard and some barbecue sauce, and the other rack we're going to be using this. It's a Mojo Criollo. It's a marinade, Cuban style, like I was mentioning. It has a lot of citric and garlic and a lot of spices. It gives a very good flavor. And we're going to be taking the ribs. We're going to be wrapped in aluminum foil, and we're going to be putting on the grill. Okay, the ribs are out of their package. So one very important step that you always need to check to really have good flavor and fall off the bone ribs. You want to check the back portion of the ribs. Okay, so we got to make sure that there's a membrane on the inside that you need to remove. This one I start removing. You can see here's the membrane. Okay, you want to check because sometimes they're already removed, but sometimes they're not. In this case, this one didn't have it, but this one still had the membrane. So what you want to do is just grab just paper towel, grab it, and just pull it back like this. It's that easy, right? So what this is going to do is this is going to allow flavor to get inside the meat, and also the rub and whatever marinade you put in is going to go in, because if you cook it that way, it's going to become a little rubberish and it's going to be a little tough. So just make sure you check that and you take it off before you actually rub it up and put it to cook. Okay, for the rub itself, we want to use some regular mustard. You can see here I started doing that. You just put on some mustard on the actual ribs. So the mustard, what it does, it's just going to bind the rub better to the actual ribs. You would not taste the mustard once it's cooked. So you want to put mustard top and bottom, and then start putting in your rub. The other rack, we're gonna use the Mojo Criollo. We're gonna cut them in half. We're gonna put them in a container, and we're gonna just put the marinade over the ribs, so the actual citrics in the marinade can penetrate the meat and get some flavor, and also make it a little bit tender. Now we start putting on our rub. Be generous with your rub. And this is where the mustard really helps out, to bind the rub to the meat so it doesn't fall off. Still a little bit going to fall off, but it's going to be a lot better than not having anything. So I'll make sure you put it all throughout the back swell. You can see the mustard there. So look like. Okay, so after you do this, we are ready to wrap these up. So the next rack, I already started doing this. The next rack, you want to put it inside a container, and you want to take the Criollo marinade. You can buy this on any supermarket under the Latin foods. So you can just shake it very well before you use it and start putting it in. That's all you need to do. Okay, and you want to cover it and put it in the fridge for about an hour to 2 hours. So this is going to give a very good flavor. So with the rack already with the rub on, we want to just wrap them in foil. So the foil is going to give you that fall off the bone characteristic, right? So you want to just wrap them up. Use heavy duty foil, so that way it'll be a little more resistant for punctures, so the bone doesn't puncture the actual foil, and you lose all those nice juices while it's cooking. So this is ready to go. We're gonna put it in the fridge for about 1 or 2 hours, and then it'll be ready to go into the grill. So it's been about 2 hours since we marinated our racks here. Look very good. So we want to do is we want to take the rack, wrap it up, and you can just put a little bit more marinade. Pick it up a little bit. More marinade. You don't need a lot. It's just enough to keep it moist while you're being cooked. And with the heat, the steam will go through the meat and it'll give it a lot of flavor. Wrap them up. These are nice and tight. And now they are ready to go to the grill. So the ribs are ready to go in the grill. We're going to be using our Weber grill here. It has 3 burners. We're going to only turn on the 2 on the side, leave the one in the middle off, and we're going to let it heat up about 375. We're going to put the ribs in the middle portion of the grill where there's no heat underneath, and when you close the lid, they're going to cook under indirect heat for about an hour to an hour and a half. So around an hour, we're going to come back. We're going to open up the foil and see how well they're cooked, or if they need a little bit more time, and continue until they're cooked. So it's very important to have a thermometer to just make it the cooking more consistent. You're able to repeat this many times and get great results. You can do it on charcoal as well. I don't have a charcoal grill, I have a gas grill, but you can set your charcoal grill, put the charcoal on the sides, leave the middle portion without charcoal, and put the ribs there. And I recommend that you use a lid so you have consistent temperature. So we're going to let it heat up, and then we're going to put the ribs on and then let them cook. The grill is now at 375, so let's open this up. 2 side burners are on, the middle is off. So we're going to take our ribs, place them right in the middle to be cooked under indirect heat. Okay. Now I always put my ribs meat side up. That way the fat on top can melt with the heat and melt down. And you can discard that after you take them out of the foil. So we're going to leave them here for about an hour and 15 minutes. Come back, open it up, check them out. If they're ready, we'll take them out of the foil and we'll go to the next step. So we'll close it up. Come back in about an hour and 15 minutes. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. So we open up the ribs, and this is what they're gonna. This is how they should look like. See how the bone, the meat kind of pulled from the bone about ½ an inch to 3/4 of an inch. That's a good sign that the meat is done. So they're going to be very tender, very moist, because we wrap them in foil. By the way, this is called the Texas crutch method, where you fold them up and they're ready to go. So we're going to do, this particular one is the one we have the rub. So we're going to put a little bit of barbecue sauce. We're going to put it on top of the grill direct heat to caramelize all that barbecue sauce, give it a very nice texture. And the other ones, we're just going to put them in the grill as well, but we're not going to put any barbecue sauce on for the Mojo ribs. We're just going to keep that Mojo flavor. We don't want to put any barbecue sauce with it. So I'll unwrap them, put a little barbecue sauce, and put them back in the grill. So we got our ribs here. I just put a little bit of barbecue sauce on top. Use a little brush to baste them. Down, top to bottom. We're going to put them back on the grill over direct heat, and just done there for a minute or two. It's going to caramelize all the sugar from the barbecue sauce and give a very nice texture, very nice flavor. Again, the ribs, a little bit more barbecue sauce on top, just a little bit. Get some flavor. Get the brush. A little bit. Cook it for a minute or two. Get very good flavor. And then we'll put the rest of the ribs have a little bit different. They're going to be very, very tasty. There's about a minute or two as well. It's been a couple of minutes on direct heat for the ribs, and this is what they're going to look like. You can see great texture and caramelization for the from the barbecue. The mojo ribs look great. Ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them out. I'm going to cut them individually. I like to serve it that way. It's easier for everyone. And that's it. It took about an hour and a half, a little bit under an hour and a half for 2 full racks. So it's a great recipe. Give it a shot. So I hope you guys like the recipe. You know, both barbecue and mojo style ribs are great. You know, if you wrap them around, they're going to be done, you know, in about an hour and a half. They're going to taste great, and they're going to be just fall off the bone ribs. So I encourage you to try the recipe. Thank you for watching, and check out my channel for other recipes. Take care. Cheers.